Hey guys, my name is Steve with LRM Leasing. Today I want to talk about some electrical issues that I've had an issue with a customer that called me about his AC not working. Now sometimes when I get phone calls, I get usually part of the story. I'll call the technician that they're working with to get more of the story. But I think the best thing for me to tell you guys about hopping in a situation is maybe you guys can do a little few things before going in the shop so you have a better idea what to ask for when you head there. This, for instance, was a customer that the AC is not working. So there's a few things you guys gotta check. Make sure you have proper air pressure. And then the second thing is proper power. So when I started talking to him, found out that his alternator was barely putting out 12 volts. Well, I don't know if you guys know, low voltage regulator, 12 volts, it's not enough power to operate everything in the truck. It's gonna start only working the essentials, usually lights. AC is not a necessity. So what we do from there is we need to check everything. We wanna make sure you have good batteries. If you have a bad battery out of the 4, that can start draining and making the alternator work harder. So get the batteries checked. That's 1. 2, make sure all the cables are nice and tight, no corrosion, nothing loose, everything looks good. And then you also want to check your points because the alternator, it goes from the alternator, starter to batteries. And then you also have where it goes to a PSU box. And again, this is what I'm talking about with Freightliners, but most of the trucks have the same kind of routing. So you just want to make sure you have good clean power. If you don't have good clean power on the truck, most of the stuff is not going to work. So I have a Freightliner Cascadia here, and what I want to do is I want to show you a few things on the trucks, what to look for. The other things when it comes to testing batteries, yes, you're going to have to go to a shop just to make sure that, you know, they pull a draw on it, make sure there's no dead cells. For you as the driver, you can do some of the basic things just to see if it's something simple as a loose cable or a little buildup on it. And then you could probably save some money by just doing a little maintenance yourself, and you find out that it shoots up above 12, AC starts working, you guys just saved a whole bunch of money. Let's go through a few things on the truck, and let's check the batteries. I'm going to show you check the cables there, go to the PSU box, also go to the alternator, make sure there's no buildup or the cables are not loose on that, as well as the starter. All right, so let's hop right into this. Let's take a look at the battery section first and then work our way around the truck, okay? All right, guys, so like I said, we're gonna start at the batteries. Now, the good news is I do have a video coming out very shortly about how to, do some maintenance on the battery, especially when you go in the cold weather. So stay tuned, make sure you follow by subscribing. You'll see a video coming out how to, for maintenance for batteries. But in the meanwhile, let's talk about a little bit more about the batteries with this electrical issue with the AC. What you wanna do is remove the battery cover, and what you wanna look for right off the bat, just check, wiggle the cables, get your hands a little dirty, pull on it. If it wiggles off the post, then you know you have a loose connection. If you have a loose connection, go ahead, remove the cable completely, clean the area, and then reinstall it completely where it's nice and snug. Once you know that you have a good connection and no corrosion on the post or the cables, then you can move on to the next part. So the next part you want to be looking for is these big cables, right, that are connected to the batteries. You have one that goes to the starter, and then you have one that goes to the PSU box. So what we want to do is, consider we're on the left side of the truck, let's take a look at the PSU box, make sure we have good connection there and we don't see any corrosion as well. Now, if you guys want to take it a step further, you can have a multimeter. You can get a little cheapo, probably down to Harbor Freight or online, get a little $12 one. And what you can do is if you have 12 volts on the battery reading here, now remember 12 volts with the truck not running. If you have it here and then you test over there, you have 12 volts and you have 12 volts everywhere else, then you know that the cables are good along the way. Now, if you have 12 volts at the battery and let's say you have 9 at the PSU or at the starter, there's a good chance that the cable's bad. So, especially if you don't see any corrosion or the cable's not loose, and you got where you have 12 here and 9 over there, good chance that the cable's bad and you're gonna have to replace it. All right, so if you guys want to do it yourselves, invest in a little multimeter. It doesn't have to be fancy, just enough to read voltage. All right, so what we're going to do is we checked out the batteries, cables are tight, no corrosion. So what we want to do is move up to the front area, look at the PSU box where the cables pretty much go to a main box and then distributes the power throughout the truck. So that's the main hub. What we're gonna do is go there right now. All right guys, so we're over here at the PNDB box. Again, what we're doing is just making sure that the cables are nice and tight. And if you have a multimeter, you're also gonna be checking to make sure you have 12 volts as well. You want it to match pretty close to the batteries. And we have a PNDB box right here. And I just wanna mention that we did make a video a while back where, you know, electrical goes out in the dash and comes right back on right away. So that's the PNDB box, which is located on the driver's side on the front wall. And there's a main cable wire that's red, and then 3 more that distributes the power out to the other computers. Just make sure that the cable's nice and tight, and also make sure there's no corrosion. And if you have the multimeter, again, check, make sure you have pretty much close to the same voltage of what you have at the batteries, which should be around 12 something. All right, so now we are on the right side, which is also the passenger side of the truck. We're gonna take a look at the alternator and also the starter. And then at these areas, we're gonna check for, again, loose cables, any corrosion. And then if you, again, have the multimeter, you wanna make sure that, one, that you have 12 volts at the alternator as well as at the batteries. I mean, at the starter, sorry, not batteries. We already talked about that, so the starter. Now, just remember, at the alternator, with the truck not running, it should read pretty close to what it should be on the batteries. So that's just giving us a good indication that we have good connections with the cables. All right, that we have good travel. Now, when you check with the multimeter and you have one, when you fire up the truck, the alternator should be anywhere between 13, 13.5. That's great, that's what we want. Now, if it's reading 12 voltage, the same when the truck is running, as well as the batteries. So unfortunately, the truck is running off the batteries and the alternator is not working. And then that's when you need to, one, get it bench test to confirm, or two, just replace the alternator, which 90% of the time, that's what the cause of the problem is. You put an alternator on it, and then you'll see the voltage jump, and you'll see it with the multimeter too, because once it reads 13, then if you go back to the batteries, when the truck is running, should be reading the same what the alternator is putting out. And then also should be reading what it should be in the cab when you look at their display, if you have to stroll through it, or on an individual gauge. So each truck is a little different. You may have to stroll through the center part of your gauge to find that voltage for the alternator. And then some trucks have an individual gauge as well. So if it's reading what you have on your multimeter is on the dash, then you know you have good power. And like I said, if you have more than 12 volts, then the AC would kick on. So with that customer, we ended up replacing the alternator, and guess what started working? The AC, thank goodness. And saved them a little bit more money, because we know between the evac and recharge, the seals, the freon, and the part of the AC compressor, and then 90% of the time you're gonna replace a dryer, you're looking anywhere between, you know, 12 to 1,500 bucks for an AC, where if it was just the alternator, and again, you guys need to shop around, because sometimes some places will be more expensive than the other, but alternator typically anywhere between 300 to 500 bucks depending on which one you need, and then an hour labor shop minimum. And guess what, you guys did not spend over $1,000 doing an alternator. Just FYI, save some money doing it that way instead of putting an AC compressor on it because you didn't have clean power, and we just dumped 1,200 bucks in the toilet and the truck's still not fixed. You're not going to be happy, and you definitely won't be happy when you lose all the money in the pocket when something simple as an alternator, because you need clean power. Just keep that in mind. All right guys, so just a quick recap about this electrical issue again with AC. The main goal is to make sure that you have good clean power across your truck. And that's checking from the batteries to the alternators to the cables. Because again, you don't want to be the person that purchased something or get repaired. And I would love to say that every mechanic knows what they're talking or doing. Sometimes they don't. But for you guys to have a little basic knowledge about what you should have, especially when it comes to electrical, clean power, all right? Good batteries, good alternator, good connections. That's the key. If everything's good there, then we can diagnose further on if it was an AC issue, all right? So if you like what you saw today, please don't forget to hit the like button. As you can see, I refer to more videos from that I did in the past and something coming up, but I want you guys, again, subscribe so you guys can get that content. One, get some knowledge. Two, to save you some money. And again, if you guys have any questions about what you saw today or any future comments or videos for me to make, please leave the comment at the bottom. I'll see you guys at the next video. And again, let's have a great year by sending out more information to you.